Hello everyone, my name is Shaheen and today I will teach you oxidation. So today we will learn oxidation. So what is oxidation? First we will discuss the definition of oxidation. What is oxidation? How many types of definitions are there for oxidation? And then we will see one reagent by which we can oxidize a organic molecule. So firstly, what is oxidation? There is different way to define the oxidation. The first way of define the oxidation, whenever the compound gain oxygen is considered as a oxidation. So when compound gain oxygen, when any molecule gain oxygen, it is considered as oxidation reaction. Other way around, we can say if the compound lost hydrogen molecule or hydrogen from it, it is also considered as a oxidation. So loss of hydrogen and gain of oxygen is also known as oxidation. Either gain of oxygen, either loss of hydrogen, or simultaneously if both occur, that is also oxidation. So what is oxidation? Oxidation is a gain of oxygen, it is considered as oxidation. Loss of hydrogen is also considered as oxidation. If in a molecule, if in a reaction, both processes occur simultaneously, means gain of oxygen is also taking place and loss of hydrogen is also taking place, that is also considered as a oxidation. And one more definition is there, that is loss of electrons. If from a molecule, from an atom, electron is lost or removal of electron will take place, that is also considered as a oxidation. So first we will see the gain of oxygen. Suppose if in a molecule this group CH2 is converted into, by some reaction, by some process, if it is converted into carbonyl group, that means the oxygen is gaining, right? For example, this is a both things is appearing in this example, like loss of hydrogen is also taking place and gain of oxygen is also taking place. So this is also example of oxidation. Suppose if you have magnesium and you are treating this with oxygen, it will form magnesium oxide. So as magnesium is gaining oxygen, it is also considered as an oxidation. By the time this is considered as an oxidation. Now loss of hydrogen. Suppose you have ethene, okay. By some process there is loss of hydrogen take place and you will get alkene. So here loss of hydrogen molecule is taking place. So this is also considered as a oxidation. And if both the process occur simultaneously, that is gain of oxygen and loss of hydrogen, it is also considered as a oxidation. And loss of electron is one of the best example, like iron. If iron is converted into Fe plus 3, okay, that is loss of 3 electron. So this process, the conversion of Fe to Fe plus 3 or Fe plus 2 to Fe plus 3 is also considered as oxidation reaction. So there are three ways of definition of oxidation, that is gain of oxygen, loss of hydrogen and loss of electron. If this all three processes occur in a same molecule, the all is considered as oxidation, or either gain of oxygen, loss of hydrogen and loss of electron will consider as a oxidation. So this is a general definition which you have learned in 11th-12th standard or maybe in 10th standard for the definition of oxidation. Now in oxidation series we will learn oxidation of organic compound by using different reagents like selenium oxide, chromium trioxide. So one by one we will use one reagent and we will see how it will oxidize to our molecule. So today this is my first video in my YouTube channel. So today we will start with the oxidation of organic compound by using selenium oxide. First reagent for oxidation is selenium dioxide. Okay, the structure of selenium dioxide is this. This is the structure of selenium dioxide. So our first reagent for today's lecture or for oxidation series is selenium dioxide. So we will see oxidation of organic molecule by using selenium oxide. So selenium oxide oxidize in a three way. First it oxidizes CH2 to carbonyl compound, okay, and it convert again oxidation at benzylic position, means there are different positions. This is active methylene. The active methylene group is converted into carbonyl group in first oxidation. And at second position, the benzylic position is also a very reactive position. So selenium oxide will oxidize benzylic CH2 to carbonyl compound. Okay, and oxidation at allylic position. This allylic position is also oxidized to OH. The CH2 is converted into CHOH. If you are using excess of selenium oxide, this will further oxidize to carbonyl compound. No doubt, we will see the example in detail. So one by one, in today's lecture, we will learn one by one each oxidation. So what is the use of selenium oxide? Selenium oxide is act as a oxidizing agent. Okay, and oxidation, so how it will oxidize? It will oxidize to CH2 to carbonyl compound, as well as it oxidizes at benzylic position, as well as it oxidizes at allylic position. So in today's lecture, we will see all three examples one by one. So the methylene group adjacent to carbonyl compound is oxidized to carbonyl compound by using selenium dioxide. See the example. If you have carbonyl group and you have methylene group, this is CH2. So this is active methylene group. This is considered as the active methylene group because this proton is acidic in nature. So this proton is also known as active proton. So this is active methylene group. When we treat such compound with selenium oxide, selenium dioxide, this position, the active methylene group, that is CH2 group, is converted into carbonyl group. So your product is alpha dicarbonyl compound. So you will get alpha dicarbonyl compound as a product. So whenever active methylene group is treated with selenium dioxide, active methylene group means it is attached to a carbonyl group. So this proton is acidic and this group become active. So this active methylene group, when it is treated with selenium oxide, it will oxidize to, the CH2 is converted into carbonyl compound and your product is alpha dicarbonyl compound. So that means carbonyl compound is converted into alpha dicarbonyl compound. Okay. Now see the mechanism, how it will work. We will see mechanism of this reaction. This is a general reaction. We will see lots of example of oxidation of CH2 to carbonyl group. Now see, if you have a carbonyl compound attached to active methylene group, okay, in first step it will tautomerize. See here, this will tautomerize. This step is nothing but a tautomerization. So you will get ROH over here, then C double bond H and R. So this is a reaction, this is a tautomerization in which the keto group is converted into enol. This is keto and it is converted into enol. And when you treat this compound with selenium dioxide, okay, so see here which type of reaction will take place. This bond will shift to carbon and oxygen. The valency of carbon increases. This will shift to selenium as selenium is electron deficient here, and this will shift to oxygen in the form of O minus. This O minus will abstract this proton and convert it into OH. Now see R, C double bond O, C H and then R and then selenium H, then double bond, selenium OH and then double bond O. Okay. Now see here, in this case the rearrangement will take place. This bond will migrate over here and this will eliminate it out. Means overall the water molecule is eliminated out. So what you will get are C double bond, C double bond, Se double bond O and R. So if you are treating this compound with water, water have lone pair of electron, so this will attack on this electron deficient carbon. This will shift to selenium. Selenium will carry negative charge. It will abstract proton from the water and this water is converted into OH. Means here the OH will attach and hydrogen will go to selenium. So what you will get are C double bond O, C, OH and then selenium double bond O and hydrogen. Now the next step is this bond will shift here. Okay, valency of carbon increases, this will eliminate it out. So what you will get? You will get alpha dicarbonyl compound over here plus selenium, that is nothing but H2SCO. Okay, hydrogen selenium oxide. So oxidation of CH2 to carbonyl using selenium oxide. The active methylene group means methylene group which is attached to a carbonyl compound, which is active, reactive. When it is treated with selenium oxide, it will oxidize to carbonyl compound and your product is dicarbonyl compound, alpha dicarbonyl compound. And this is a mechanism how it will work. See, this is your carbonyl compound. It has active proton, alpha proton at adjacent position. So it will tautomerize and it will give you enol. Now this enol will attack on selenium. Okay, the selenium will attack on selenium and pi bond will shift to oxygen. Now oxygen will carry proton and it will convert into OH. Then removal of water molecule will take place. The water which is removed will act as a nucleophile and attack on this carbon because this carbon is electron deficient. So bond will shift to selenium. Selenium may carry a negative charge. That negative charge abstract proton because after attacking its lone pair, this water become the oxygen become positive. Oxynium ion will generate. So it will abstract from that. Proton will abstract. Selenium will abstract proton from oxynium ion and you will get OH here. Now the next step is removal of H2SCO and you will get alpha dicarbonyl compound as a product. So this is a journal reaction and this is a mechanism. To learn any reagent, the mechanism is very important. So this is the mechanism of oxidation of CH2 to carbonyl compound by using selenium dioxide of the following reaction. See, this is cyclohexanone. You have two adjacent carbon, both having similar environment. So anyone can oxidize and it will give you alpha dicarbonyl compound. Okay, now here you have two adjacent carbon but it doesn't have any proton, so it will oxidize and you will get alpha dicarbonyl compound as a product. In this case you have two adjacent position. Out of this the CH2 will be more active and it will oxidize to alpha dicarbonyl compound. Here you have two carbonyl and this carbon is more active, more acidic, the proton is more acidic. So this CH2 will convert it into carbonyl compound as already two carbonyl compound are present. So in a product you will get tricarbonyl compound as a product. Here again you have two active carbon at adjacent position but it doesn't have CH2 group, means two proton is required. So this will oxidize and it will give you what? It will give you alpha dicarbonyl compound. So this is a product of the following reaction. Example, now this is a carbonyl compound. You have two methyl group both having similar environment. So out of these two, one will oxidize. As CH3 is there, CH3 will convert it into aldehyde and CH2 is converted into ketone. So this group is converted into CH3, C double bond and CHO. This will convert it into aldehyde. Here also CH3 is there, so CH3 will convert it into aldehyde, means nothing but CH2 is converted into H and one H will be as it is, so it can be written as CHO. Here you have one active methylene group, so when it is treated with selenium dioxide, so it will oxidize active methylene group and you will get alpha dicarbonyl compound. So now second use of selenium dioxide is oxidation of benzylic position. Okay, so selenium dioxide is also used for oxidation at benzylic position. So what is benzylic position? This is a benzyl group, right? This is benzene and this is a benzyl group. So this position is nothing but benzylic position. Okay, so oxidation of benzylic group, that is CH2 to carbonyl compound, is done by using selenium dioxide. So what is the use of selenium dioxide? It converts benzylic CH2 to carbonyl compound. So whenever benzylic position is treated with the selenium dioxide, it will convert it into carbonyl compound. Now see here, this is nothing but a CH2 and it is a benzylic position. So this will oxidize to a carbonyl group. Now here, this is nothing but a benzylic group because it is attached to aromatic ring. Though it is not a benzene, it is a pyridine, but this is a aromatic ring. So this will also consider as a benzylic position. So this will also oxidize, and as it is CH3, so CH3 will convert it into aldehyde and you will get CHO as a product. And here also this position is benzylic position. So this CH3 will convert it into aldehyde and you will get benzaldehyde as a product. So the second use of selenium dioxide is for oxidation of benzylic position. The benzylic position is oxidized to carbonyl compound by using selenium dioxide. So these are the three examples in which all the benzylic carbon is oxidized to carbonyl carbon. Is it clear? So now next is oxidation at allylic position. So see here, this is a allylic position. This position is nothing but a allylic position. What is allylic position? The sp3 hybridized carbon which having adjacent carbon which is sp2 hybridized. So this carbon is considered as a allylic position and this carbon is considered as a vinylic position. So the selenium dioxide oxidized allylic position, the CH2 is converted into CHOH. So when it is treated with selenium dioxide in a limited quantity, so this will oxidize to OH. So this is the oxidation of organic molecule by using selenium oxide, and it will oxidize to allylic position and you will get OH at allylic carbon. So now see mechanism. Here two type of pericyclic reaction will take place. One is ene reaction, another one is 3,3 sigmatropic reaction will take place. So we'll see mechanism. To solve such type of example, we have to see few rules that we will see in today's lecture, and we will see more example and we will try to apply that rules on that example and try to find out the exact product. So see, first we will discuss mechanism of this reaction. So you have this allylic position, this is allylic position CH3. It have 3 proton, 1 proton I am showing for the reaction. And you have selenium oxide, selenium dioxide. So see here, in first example, first step, the ene reaction will take place. Which reaction will take place? Ene reaction will take place. See, this will shift here. This will shift to selenium, okay, and this will shift to oxygen in the form of O minus. This O minus will extract this proton and convert it into OH. So what you will get? Double bond over here and new bond between this carbon and selenium. The selenium is attached to double bond O and it is converted into OH. Now this can be also written in this manner. This is OH and this is O minus and this is O plus. What I have done, this just shifting of this pi electron to the oxygen. Oxygen will carry negative charge and selenium will carry positive charge. So here 2,3 sigmatropic reaction will take place. See here, this will attack on this carbon. This will shift over here. The valency of this carbon increases. Okay, this will shift to selenium and selenium will neutralize. So what you will get? Double bond over here. Here you have oxygen, then selenium, then OH. Now the next step is hydrolysis. On hydrolysis, this bond will break down, converted into OH plus selenium dihydroxide is a byproduct. So see here, in first step, the ene reaction will take place. Okay, you will get this. This can be written in this manner. Here, the 2,3 sigmatropic reaction will take place and you will get this. This on hydrolysis will give you oxidized product, that is oxidation at allylic position. So allylic alcohol you will get as a product. So this is a journal reaction and this is a mechanism. There are 4 rules which you have to learn to solve such type of reaction. First we will discuss the 4 rules, then we will discuss example, we will apply that rule on the example and try to find out the product. So see first rule. So if you have more than one allelic position in a molecule, then out of that, if you want to oxidize with selenium dioxide, only one position will oxidize, no doubt. But to find out which position will oxidize, there is some rule. That rule you have to remember. So see here in first rule, if you have more than one allelic position, for example this is a group in which you have 3 allelic position. This is also allelic position, this is also allelic position, this is also allelic position. So out of this 3, the first rule says that if you have more than one allelic position, the allelic position which is more substituted side will oxidize. So see, out of these 2, okay, this is mono-substituted carbon and this is di-substituted carbon. So out of these 2 carbon, which side will oxidation will take place? Out of these 2, the oxidation will take place here. Okay. Why? Because this side is more substituted. The first rule says that if more than one oxidation place is placed, if more than one allelic position is there in a molecule, so the carbon which is more substituted, that side the oxidation will take place. Now second rule. So in the first rule it is clear that out of these 2 carbon the oxidation will take place. Here the oxidation will not take place. So now out of these 2, which one will react? That is clear by the second rule. So what second rule says that if you have 2 allelic position, so the allelic position which is trans to the main chain, will oxidize. So see here, these 2 positions are available, right, in according to the first rule. Now out of these 2, this is cis to the chain and this is trans to the chain. So out of these 2, this position will oxidize. Okay. So first rule says that if you have more than one allelic position, so side at which more substitution is there, that side the oxidation will take place, and that side also you have more than one places, then the ring which is trans to the main ring, then the carbon trans to the main ring, that carbon will undergo oxidation. So when treated with this selenium oxide, the product will be OH. This allelic group will oxidize to OH. So these are the 2 rules. First rule says that the more substituted side will react fast and it will give you product, and out of these 2, that which is trans will give you product. Now suppose if you have more possibility, like one side you have CH3 and one side you have, suppose this is a condition. Okay, see, this is a condition. So obviously here no substitution is there, here 2 substitution is there. So according to first rule, out of these 2, this will, or here allelic position is not there, right? Allelic position is also only available here. So you have methyl group and CH2 group. So no trans, no cis, no possibility. So here when such type of condition is there, the CH2 carbon is more reactive than CH3. So here CH2 position is there and here CH3 is there. So out of these 2, which position will react? This position will react and you will get this type of allylic alcohol. So first rule says that the more substituted end will react fast. Second rule says that if there is a possibility of 2 product, then the carbon which is trans to the main chain will oxidize, and if you have more possibility, CH3 and CH2, if you have confusion, then the CH2 will react faster and it will give you product. So these are the 3 rules. Okay. Now next 2 rule is there. What is the second rule? What is the fourth rule? So if you have monocyclic group, see, this is a monocycle. So you have allylic position, this is also allylic position, this is also allylic position, this is also allylic position. So this is more substituted end. So out of these 2 will react, right? But if you have monocyclic ring, the cycle के अंदर जो एलिलिक पोजिशन होगा, that is cyclic allylic position is more reactive. So out of these two, this is out of cycle and this is in the cycle. So if you have monocyclic compound, so the carbon which is in the cycle will oxidize first. So here you will get this product, not here, though it is trans and all, but you will get here as a product. This is for monocyclic compound. So if you have monocyclic ring, it will take place at more substituted end, no doubt, and out of more substituted end, the carbon which is in the ring will oxidize. Okay, so you will get this product. Now the fifth rule, if you have fused ring, okay, see here, if you have fused ring, this is a fused ring. So this is a ring. You have allylic position, 4 allylic position, 1, 2, 3, 4. These two is same. So these are the two different position, right? The substitution is same, everything is same. So if you have fused heterocyclic ring, then at that time the ring which is more strained will oxidize first. So out of these two, the 4-member ring is more strained, the smaller ring is more strained, right? So the smaller ring will oxidize and it will give you OH over here. So these are the 5 rules you have to consider while solving the example or while find out the product. So first rule is, if you have more than one allylic position, the allylic position which have more substituted end will oxidize, and you have more allylic position at the substituted end, then the ring or the carbon which is trans to the ring will trans to the main chain will oxidize. And if you have CH2 and CH3, out of this CH2 will first react and it will oxidize to OH. And if you have monocyclic ring, the cyclic carbon will oxidize, the carbon which is in the cycle will oxidize to OH. And in the fifth example, if you have a fused ring compound, not heterocyclic, fused ring compound, so out of this position, the more strained OH, more strained carbon, more strained ring will oxidize and it will give you OH there. So these are the 5 rules that you have to remember. First, second, third, fourth, 5. So these are the 5 rules you have to learn, you have to apply while solving the example. So we have discussed 5 rules. So while solving the problem, you have to go one by one. First you have to check first rule, then second rule, then third, then fourth, then 5. So priority wise, the first rule will be first, means firstly you have to check whether more substituted side, then secondly you have to check trans, then you have to check CH2 and CH3, then if ring is there, if monocyclic ring is there, the rule is different, if fused ring is there, the rule is different, right? So here in the first example, the fused ring system is there. You have 2 ring, 5-member ring and 6-member ring. Out of this, the 5-member ring is more strained, so this position is allylic position, so this will oxidize to OH. Here you have this more substituted end here, mono substituted, and here is di substitution, and out of this two, this is trans, this is second rule, so this will oxidize to OH. Here no allylic position, here you have 1 allylic position, here you have 3 allylic position, so the more substituted double bond will oxidize, and out of this two, this side is more substituted, right, and out of this two, this one is trans, so what you will get as a product, so this will oxidize to OH and you will get as a product. Here you have only 1 allylic position, so this allylic position will oxidize to OH. Here you have ring, okay, and you have only 1 position. This is aromatic ring, you have only 1 allylic position or benzylic position, so this will oxidize to OH over here. Okay, and here you have 3 allylic position. Out of these two, this is more substituted, and out of these two, this is ring carbon, so ring carbon will oxidize and it will give you this product. So this is all about oxidation of selenium dioxide. oxidation by using selenium dioxide. So selenium dioxide is very powerful oxidizing reagent. It oxidizes CH2 to carbonyl compound. It oxidizes at benzylic position as well as it oxidizes at allylic position. This oxidation at allylic position is very important, that you have to remember the mechanism as well as rules, and you have to apply the rules to solve the problem. If you like my content, if you like my teaching, please like this video, share with your friend and subscribe my channel.